He said, I'm gonna write a letter of complaint of trademark infringement to every single American social media platform.
Yes, let's just shut Alex down.
Dan! Oh, did I just say that? I've got something here.
Oh.
Are you scared?
Yes, I'm terrified. Even politics and religion, that could be part of your brand. I'm not here for your viewing pleasure. I am Palestinian, so that is my identity.
That bitch. And that was my stepmother at the time. I've never really publicly talked about how MailChimp treated me like a freaking criminal. Do you remember this?
Yes.
I'm about to cry.
So when the Palestine genocide started and I started posting about it, I definitely noticed a huge drop in my numbers.
Crazy.
But I don't care.
I certainly never thought someone would come after me because of my brand name. This is a great start to the podcast. We just start now. Shoes showing. Just want everybody to see my shoes. Just look how good my microphone looks. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. You are my first guest.
Thank you. That's an honor and also very scary.
Why? You were just before we officially started rolling, you were telling me you were nervous. Why are you nervous?
You know what? When I'm a podcast guest, I usually have other episodes to refer back to see, okay, what are the angles? What is the lighting? What do they talk about? I had no idea. And it's you. Don't know what to expect ever.
This is so fun. Okay, so just for context for everybody, Majdel, you are my friend. You are like a family friend. You're a client, but really, you are my guardian angel on this earth here in the physical world. You're my guardian angel, right? Wow. So Majell is very special to me, and we're gonna uncover why. And I remember a year ago now, me and you going through what we went through together, which is what we're gonna talk about here today. But I don't know if you remember, there was this like moment that I said to you, I can't wait for the moment that we will be able to like talk about what we went through together. And finally, that moment is here.
It is.
So I feel really special to have you with me because like I say, you are my walking guardian angel in this like earth. So I'm so excited that I get to have you as my first guest and that we get to chat about all the things that we love to talk about. But I want you to introduce yourself to everybody because you're going to do a much better job because I know that you were a lawyer in the US, but here what you practice is a little bit differently and it's about property and helping people with all of that amazing. So maybe if you can just do your own introduction because then you can tell people what you do.
This is my least favorite part of anything.
Really?
Yes. Whenever I am on a podcast, teaching a course, etc., I hate introducing myself. Because I don't actually know how to describe myself.
But can I just remind you, when I met you a few years ago, you were like, Alex, I'm never gonna do cameras. I'm never gonna like film myself. And now I open Instagram and there's Majdel in podcasts and here you are. So you've definitely come a long way because I remember you were like, no, I don't wanna do cameras. I don't wanna show my face. And we were even working on doing a digital avatar for you.
And we did voiceovers on
And we did
TikTok,
voiceovers. And we were never happy with this damn digital avatar, but you just got over it.
Yeah, I mean, I still am not great at looking directly at the camera and talking to it. That's still not my forte, but yes, just doing these kind of things.
Okay, so tell me, you definitely didn't have to look at the camera. Tell me, what do you do? So everybody can know what you do and how you can help people as well, because I know you're helping a lot of people right now with all of this property stuff, so yes.
Yes, so I am a lawyer.
Yes.
I'm still a lawyer, technically.
Yeah.
I've been a lawyer for 21 years, unfortunately. Way too long.
So cool.
And I've been in Dubai for over 11 years now. And when I came here, so I had in the US my own law firm for 10 years before I came here. And then when I came here, I actually worked at the Dubai Land Department. That was my first job with the government. And then I worked as the head of real estate for a law firm. And that lasted for about a year because the owner decided after a year he didn't want to have a law firm here anymore. So then I actually ended up, total detour in the career, I ended up in startups. So went to Souk, and about 2 weeks after I started, they announced, tomorrow we have announcement to make, come to headquarters, please. And then it was, surprise, Amazon's coming. So, got acquired by Amazon. So stuck with them for about a year.
Right, that's what I remember.
Yes.
Now you're bringing back the memory, because I remember when we met, there was this Amazon thing.
Yes. So then I went to Fetcher, and then I went to a couple of other startups. Did a startup consultancy for a little over a year, and then I decided a couple of years ago I wanted to get back into real estate again, because that's really where my heart is at.
Okay.
I have a real estate background, did real estate as a broker before law school, and then even while I was practicing law, I did commercial as well. So I just really wanted to get back into it. So I started teaching the courses again for the brokers. And then I started last year with Real Trust. So we do escrow and conveyancing services for real estate transactions. So yeah, just all real estate all the time now.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for that amazing introduction. I've got something here.
Oh,
Are you scared?
yes. I'm terrified of this whole thing.
You're terrified?
Oh, Alex.
Okay, so I've got something here. Well, this is the Rebel's closet, right?
Yes.
So I don't know if you remember this.
I will be present.
It says, Alex, happy birthday. Remember that while we can't stop bad things from happening, you are always protected. Do you remember this?
Yes.
I'm about to cry.
Aww.
This was so special to me, and I have it up on my kitchen because you sent me this not April this year, but April last year, and it was so close to everything that happened with. Okay, so this is the part we need to decide. Do we say his name?
The best name ever, though.
You're the lawyer here, okay? I'm just like following.
I just don't want to trigger him.
Yeah, we don't want to trigger him because we've gone through a lot.
Yes.
So we call him Dan.
Yeah, we'll call him Danny.
Dan. We're gonna call him Dan. So you gave me this very shortly. Everything that happened with the whole trademark ordeal, and I remember receiving this on a candle, and it was so special. And one of the biggest reasons why I definitely wanted you to come on here and to be my first guest is because you were there for me at one of probably in my 10 years of House of Social, probably one of the hardest moments ever. I had never really had anybody come after me in a kind of almost sort of like legal way, in a way like that. I have had, like, there was this woman that came after me, but it didn't cost me 15,000 dirhams.
Yeah.
And so I, and that obviously was very painful, what she did and her betrayal, and this would be another podcast, story. But I had never gone through anything like this. Having someone come after me, sadly it had to be a man. I don't know what's this karma that I have, that men just keep on freaking bullying me. And it was on another country. And maybe other small businesses listening, or even just whatever size of a business you are. I never thought, as much confidence as I have and as much as I know, how good House of Social is and all of that, in a way, I've just always, and I still kind of see myself as the underdog and a bit of a small fish, right? So I never thought about trademarking. That never came across my mind. And I certainly never thought someone would come after me so viciously because of my brand name. So maybe we should contextualize people with a little bit of the story of what happened.
Yeah. So tell them a little bit about what happened.
Yeah.
When you discovered this issue.
Do you remember when I first messaged you the first time?
Yes. Your panic mode. Complete
Well, I
panic.
think I was calm. I was still calm, but I'm like, what's going on?
No, there was, I don't know if that was the point. There was a point where you were panicking and crying.
There was a point I was like, what's going to happen?
Yes.
So basically, for everybody listening, this is what happens. I start getting these messages on my LinkedIn, which I ignore. And these messages are really Dan, I have to remember it's Dan, right?
Danny.
Dan, bet Dan is watching. Dan, if you're watching. So I started getting these messages from Dan, and the messages are long, like Dan loves to ride, okay? And remember the website?
Yes.
The website is 90% copy.
Yes.
So I get these messages from Dan, and Dan is saying, you got to take down the Rebel Club, your Rebel Marketing Club. You got to take it down. You infringing the trademark. But I'm like, I'm just ignoring. I'm ignoring until One night, I wake up, it's like 6 a.m. I remember this so vividly in this room, because we're shooting this in my room, so literally waking up in this place. And I have this email that says, cease and desist. And that's just when you look at things differently when you have a cease and desist. I mean, I love to follow all this law and criminal YouTube channels and stuff like that. Like, I love it. Maybe I could have been a good lawyer. Do you think I have lawyer potential? I mean, I'm good at convincing people. You're going to say no. Say no. It's okay.
It's not all about convincing people and arguing. That's what everybody thinks it is. But there's a lot more to it. But yeah.
I'm so obsessed with the whole P. Diddy thing. Okay, but that's like another story. Anyway, or the Johnny Depp. When it was the Johnny Depp. Anyway, so I get the cease and desist email, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, cease and desist. And this is when you have an email to your brand that says cease and desist. And this is when everything just starts to change, because it's like, who sends you an email saying cease and desist to your business? At this point, I definitely wasn't yet on the panicking and the crying. It was more like, what the fuck is this shit? And maybe this is serious, because there was an attachment from a law firm in, oh, we can say the place.
It's fine.
Nevada. Nevada. I can't wait to go to Nevada. And I get, and this is when I start, and if there was one person that I knew was going to help me, was going to be you. But I had no idea to the extent where we're going to go through this stuff together. So basically, what happens? Do you want to tell next what happens? Cease and desist. What is the cease and desist, actually?
Is this the one that you got from
him, from his lawyer.
Okay. So it wasn't the platform yet.
No.
Yeah, cease and desist, just it exactly what it means. It means stop doing something, basically, whatever action it is that you're doing. So they were basically warning you that if you continue to infringe on his trademark in the US, that he is registered there, then he will take legal action against you.
Right. So guys, I mean, this is all new to me. I was like, what's a cease and desist? And then so I send this to you. I send you the screenshot. And then I think we start digging into who is this guy. So that's when we find out it's in America, it's in Nevada. And this is when you really become my guardian angel. You become my law advisor. You made me laugh, because I think this is the best thing about everything that I went through, was like, you just made me laugh throughout the hardest times. Because what happens after this is we started the process of understanding what was this guy after. So the context is, as you guys know, I have my Rebel Club. My Rebel Club is, you are a client of my Rebel Club. That's where you do my 101 consultancy with me. But as Alex always likes to change things, I at the time had made a campaign and I called it Alex's Marketing Rebel Club. So I had put the word Marketing Rebel Club.
Exactly.
So that's what we realized, right? That he was coming after me because he as well has, or had, we don't know, right? A Marketing Rebel Club. And quoting him, he worked so hard to be ranking on page #1 on Google, and then we just like knocked him off, apparently, right? So that was his claim, right?
So I think what his bigger issue was, because I remember him saying that he signed up apparently under God knows what email address for your marketing.
Yeah, he signs up to my stuff, yes.
The fact that he got it in the US, he's saying you're infringing on his trademark registration in the US, because now it's reaching US potential
and
clients.
The LinkedIn posting.
Yes.
Remember him saying about the LinkedIn thing? Yeah.
So that's what his issue was that you're reaching now the US, and that's his market, and that's where he has his trademark.
So this is when me and you and my mom start like, oh, I love it. We've got music. This is when me and you and my mom start trying to make sense of this, right? So this is where the whole trademarking thing starts to get unpacked, and it can be a bit complex, right? Because I'm here in Dubai, in the UAE. Yes, I have clients not here. He is all the way in Nevada. And guys, what I also just want to say about the story is that the emails got nasty. Remember the emails? The emails got very nasty.
They did.
So this guy was just a bully. He was saying, you know, that I didn't know what I was doing. Remember when he goes, you're a little girl?
Yes.
It was like this, you were a little girl.
Yeah. He was being very, very patronizing.
Very patronizing, very bullying, and really trying to scare me. Remember when he even sent that email, money's not a problem for me. I've got friends in Dubai.
I've got lawyers in Dubai.
I've got lawyers in Dubai. I can like fly over.
Yes.
And this is when we are in so much close contact because I'm literally screenshotting you all the emails that he's sending. And this is when we're trying to make sense of, so can someone come after you in any other country and you are in another country? Is there any grounds? For me, this was very scary at the time because I see that he's not backing off. So this is what we started to see is that at first, I think we were a bit mild about it, but then we start to see that he's not backing off and he might really do something. So that's when I think me and you and Mom, we were like, okay, we need to do something. So maybe this is a good time for you maybe to explain to people because there is a lot of clarity around how trademark works, which I definitely want you now to unpack for people because I'm being asked this a lot. Funny enough, I just got asked like last week, hey, Alex, do you have like a free masterclass on the Rebel Academy on trademark? And I was like, no. So let's explain first to people how trademark works. Is it like mobile phone worldwide coverage that you can just get like, hey, just get me trademark and I'm covered and I am safe? Because that's like what I thought. I was like, okay, what do we do? What do we buy? What's the license? And, can someone just... And I remember you looking up on those websites and seeing if he was trademarked and what I was not.
Yes.
But maybe before you unpack, maybe let me tell people that we fixed this right away, right? You said to me, Alex, if you just remove the marketing Rebel Club out of it, you're fine. But this is where what you're going to explain is going to be interesting because I didn't have to remove the marketing Rebel Club out of it, right?
So the issue was, what we haven't discussed yet was MailChimp, right?
Yes.
So he went to complain to MailChimp because that's where he received your marketing from. So he went to complain to them that, look, this is my trademark registered in the US and she's infringing on it. And they actually stopped your account, right?
Yeah. And this is where I remember you explaining really well the whole trademark and how it works. But this is where things felt a bit, don't want to use the word dangerous, but this is when I remember vividly on a Sunday night crying. And that's when I really panicked because when he said, I'm going to write a letter of complaint of trademark infringement to every single American social media platform.
Yes.
And that's when I fucking freaked out because that can be your URL, that can be your website, that can be
all
every
social media.
Instagram, Meta, let's just call it Meta.
Yes.
Then we've got like TikTok, forget it, right? And that's when I was literally like, and that's when you said to me, well, we don't know what those platforms will do.
Exactly.
And that's that gray area, right?
Because the thing is that those platforms are US platforms. And here comes a guy who has a registered trademark in the US. So all they know is that somebody is threatening them on their side. So he was also threatening them with legal action as well and showing that proof that here's my trademark and Alex is infringing on it. So knowing what we know about America being very litigious, they love a good lawsuit. So they would be scared that this guy is serious and let's just shut Alex down. And that's what MailChimp did.
Yes.
So that's the issue is that, what are these platforms going to do? They're most likely going to go with the American trademark company because that's more scary to them than somebody overseas.
Yes.
So, and that's the reality of the situation.
This is when I definitely got my heart broken by MailChimp. And I feel like I'm having my moment now because I've never really publicly talked about how MailChimp treated me like a freaking criminal. And I do have to give shout outs to the other platforms because the other platforms didn't do anything. I didn't get shut down by any of my other platforms. Did I have to go through, like I did move my GoDaddy. I moved it 2 weeks because GoDaddy's American. That's like my URL. I remember being 4 a.m. in the morning and thinking, I need to protect every single thing that I have. And I remember, oh my God, my URL is GoDaddy. GoDaddy is American. I don't know what they'll do. But everything got very real when I do open my laptop and I go, and I was in the middle of my Yachtclass event. So I was having to do a lot of email campaigns, selling tickets. And I remember opening my laptop and having my MailChimp account locked down. And MailChimp says to me, you have 48 hours to appeal to this copywriting complaint by Dan. and you've got 48 hours to appeal, and then, you know, if everything is fine, we will unlock your account. Well, 2 months later, and my account was still locked.
Exactly.
Because I fixed the situation of removing the marketing word, and we're going to go into that. Oh, this is so cool. Is this me? Do I have sound on my phone? It's terrible. You know, I didn't, I went back and I was like, okay, my MailChimp account is locked down. What do I do? And I was at that point, that's when I felt things can be real. Because if MailChimp is going to lock me down, what will other platforms do?
What else will happen?
So I replied to MailChimp right away, and I told him I don't have anything. Everything is Rebel Club, Rebel Club, Rebel Club. Like, the word marketing is out. There's no marketing Rebel Club. So what he's saying is not valid. There's no validation to this, whatever, what do you call it? Like this thing that he was doing.
The trademark.
Yeah. And they take 3 weeks to reply to me, which I was just in shock. 3 weeks for the compliance department to reply. And then they said, and this is when I got so upset, well, we still see old campaigns inside MailChimp that has marketing Rebel Club. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me that on your first email?
Exactly.
Why didn't you give me a bullet point of things that I needed to do? I could have deleted that in seconds. But there we go. Alex took minutes and I just deleted it all. Another 3 to 4 weeks for them to reply to me. All at this point, my MailChimp account is locked down. The MailChimp monkey logo that I loved for years. I taught MailChimp classes. I raved about MailChimp. I referred people to MailChimp. I've got so many of my clients on MailChimp, and there I have it. For about a month, MailChimp is treating me like a criminal, when actually by law, there was nothing, right, that I was infringing.
Exactly.
I was so upset. I was so sad. Thank God I do what I do for a living, so I had my whole 10,000 email database saved. So I very swiftly moved to Wix, because that's where I've got my website. And I was just like, this is just the quickest place that I can move my email marketing to. But I sent them a very long email, really angry, really upset, really heartbroken. And they just replied, I think with just like 4-liners saying, well, this is our policy. There was never an apology. There was never nothing about sorry, or we acknowledge we took so long to reply, or, you know, like I was locked out for a month for no reason whatsoever. And I think that was the biggest scary part of this whole thing, was just, but I think maybe now is a good time to explain to people what is trademarking? How does it work? Can I get a global coverage trademark license, Majdel?
No, unfortunately, it doesn't
Tell
work
everybody,
like
can we go and get that like global coverage? Like, how does it work?
No, so you actually have to register by country, or even region if it's the EU, for example. But yes, there is no global trademark. So if you register in one country, you're only protected in that country that you've registered in, or that region. So you have to figure out, okay, you're going to do it in the country where your business registered.
Is that where everybody
That's the
should
most
start?
obvious. Yes.
So the most obvious is, and this is what we did, right? This
Yes.
is when you said to me, Alex, you know, at this point, I'm like, I'm crying. I don't know what's going on. Because at this point, everything is real. My MailChimp is locked down. What's going to happen next? I remember a couple of days after that, I wake up to a message from a Rebel on my Instagram saying, hey, Alex, your Rebel Academy is down. I remember that day. I had a keynote to do on a conference. I remember my stomach just like falling on the floor, because I was just like, that's such a big part of my brand. Like, there's 8,000 students in there. And I'm like, that's it. This guy has hacked. Because all this time he's sending us those nasty emails.
Exactly.
Like, he's sending us these nasty emails because we're not replying to him, right? Which I think that's what drove him crazy too. I think we only replied.
Just ignoring.
I think, so then I had to, okay, wait, I'm not going to jump. Maybe I don't jump steps, but we then decide, Alex, let's protect your brand here. So to your point, if you are thinking about trademarking, you start where you primarily do business.
Correct. So the country in which your business is registered. And then think about, okay, where else am I doing business?
Yeah.
And then you might want to register in those countries as well. Now, some countries are part of what's called the Madrid Protocol. And there are about 130, I believe, now countries signed up to that. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good worldwide coverage. And what you can do once you've registered your trademark in the home country of your business, then you can also apply, instead of country by country, you can apply under one application in this Madrid protocol.
Oh.
And then have the
Nice.
registration in whatever countries you want to be registered in. Now, UAE recently, in recent years, has joined the Madrid protocol, so that's good.
Okay.
So if you register here and you want to be registered in other places, you can do it as well after you finish the UAE registration.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Maybe important to tell people how expensive it is
it's
here
super expensive in UAE.
versus other countries.
Yeah, so in UAE, just the government fees alone are about 6,500, 7,000 dirhams per class.
Yeah, oh, explain to people the whole class
yes.
category thing. Because for me, you were like, Alex. So then we decided this guy might be coming. He might be getting on a jet plane because he's not letting this go. What's the next step? So then you were like, let's trademark you here. Because
Yes.
like you're saying, we start by where we do mostly business. And then we cannot do it ourselves. Like, for example, in Portugal now, when we did it, it was self-serve. And I think in America, it's like self-serve. But here, what's the process like?
So yes, so you can, here you can do it yourself through the Ministry of Economy, but it's probably better to get a lawyer. And to be honest, the legal fee is not that high compared to the government fees. It's about 1,000 to 1,500 per class for the legal fee.
Oh, okay.
So if you're already going to pay that much for the other
lawyer.
fees, then you might as well go for a lawyer and get it done properly. Don't try to
Okay.
do it yourself.
No, yeah, that's when I got shout out to Soraya. She did this. I did the whole, power of attorney. I
Yes.
remember I was so nervous that day. That all of those things make me nervous. I mean, the whole situation was nerve wracking at this point. Because up until this point, we were still, you were explaining to me everything. We were trying to understand trademarks. When you've never gone through something like this, you really, what's the lay of the land, let's say, right? And I just really thought maybe a lot of people have this naive thing that, and I even remember at the time being confused with trademarks and business licenses, because I remember being like, no, trademarking is completely different from a business license.
Trademarking is basically, so it's one of the 4 different types of intellectual property. So
Ooh, explain to people.
Yeah,
Tell
so
us.
intellectual property, or IP as it's commonly called, it's basically creation of the mind. So what falls under IP? It's, of course, trademarks. We've got patents. We've got copyrights, and then trade secrets.
Wow.
So yes, and you can basically register almost all of these things. So with trademarks, what is the trademark? It's something that identifies the business. So it could be the name of the business, it could be the logo, it can be a tagline, etc. So those are what the trademarks are. And once you register, so we discussed registration already, start in your home country or the place where you're doing business or registered. And then it's good for 10 years. So in most countries, it's...
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yes.
My trademark here is only valid for 10 years.
10 years, and then you can re-register indefinitely, but you can't forget to register again. Otherwise, somebody else can come and take it.
Yes.
So, and we started discussing the classes, so we didn't actually get to that.
So first thing is, trademarking is per country. So there's no global coverage.
Correct.
Then explain this whole class category. Because I remember you asking me this, like, Alex, you do consultancy, you do education, you also do events, you sell stuff. Like, do you know there's like categories? And I'm like, what do you mean? Are we like in a buffet now with menu? Like, and how much more is this going to cost me?
Yes.
And how expensive is this? So explain to people.
Yes, because you are paying, when you are registering, you're paying per class. So it does get expensive. But the more classes that you register under, the more
protected you are.
Yes. So it's something you have to
the Dans
consider.
cannot come after you.
Yeah. No, it was Danny.
I swear, this is when Majdel was like, this is when you were a light in my life, because I was like crying and bawling my eyes out.
I was like, yeah, don't worry, he's a 40-something-year-old living in his mama's basement.
Yes!
She's like, Daniel, come and get your dinner, Danny. What are you doing down there?
Because can I just say, you were stalking him. I wasn't even stalking him. You were like looking him up on LinkedIn. He definitely looks like one of those Americans that I don't even think he owns passports. Right? And his whole thing about Nevada, remember how obsessed he was? Like, you, like, legit, I want to clip, can we clip parts of the emails he sent me and put it on this podcast? Or am I going to get, is that like, no, am I like, no, better not? Okay. But do you remember?
Let's not wake him up again.
We don't want to wake him up. But do you remember how he was so about Nevada? He was like, I've worked really hard for years to own the whole of Nevada. And you are like trying to like take over the whole Nevada. And I'm like, dude, you can have all of the rebels in fucking Nevada. Like, I don't care. Have Nevada. Like, I'm not even there.
The funny part is you should go to Vegas because that's where Nevada is,
so
right?
Going to Vegas.
So you go to Vegas and you get like these huge billboards all over the place. And then let him drive around seeing Alex all over.
Oh, I am. I have to. I need to make a shitload more money so people donate or just hire me, please. We do, or pamphlets, or like, I don't know, because I've never been to Vegas, I've never been to Nevada, but maybe we could do like the leaflets, or I don't know.
Oh yeah,
something.
they do that all over.
They do it all over, right? Yeah. So this is just what I really loved about you, that during such a hard, horrible process, you just made me laugh so much because you were stalking him. I remember you voice noting me at some point that you were like, Alex, I don't actually even think there's anybody enrolled in this marketing club. Remember you telling me this, like, I went to his website and it just looks like a front type of thing.
Yeah,
right?
there were other people all over it, and I didn't see him doing anything.
Yeah, I didn't ever understood. And it's funny how he never mentioned YouTube. He never mentioned TikTok. It's like, does this guy know that there's other platforms? Because it was always like the same platforms.
What kind of marketing does he do?
I don't know, but that took such an emotional hit and financial hit, because overnight I went and we just did one category. I did consultancy.
Yes. So yeah, there are 45 different classes.
45?
Yes. So it depends on what kind of either goods or services that you're offering.
Wow.
So you go through the list. So for example, with you chose number 35, correct? Because that is where marketing and business management comes in.
Yes.
And actually, there is no class that covers e-commerce, for example. So what you would do is choose class 35 because it's about marketing and you're marketing products for sale.
Yes.
So that's what most e-commerce companies will choose. Then 36 would be, for example, for financial or real estate.
Yeah.
45 is for legal services. So there are
people might need to
classes.
have two, right?
Yeah, a lot of people actually have 3 or 4, maybe even more.
Because maybe they're not in the UAE where things are so expensive.
Yeah.
So we did my UAE one. And then what's really exciting was that then when I went to Portugal, we did the ones in Portugal. And having gone through the process here versus Portugal, wow. In Portugal, it's self-serve. You definitely don't need a lawyer. You definitely need to do a power of attorney. It does not cost about 8,000 dirhams. It costed us almost only about 1,000 dirhams, I think it was.
Yes, it's much cheaper in
Europe and US. You do it online.
US.
You do everything. Maybe it's similar in the US.
Yeah, so for the most part, you can attempt to do it yourself in the US. However, if you are a foreign company like you do have to have a US registered lawyer.
Which is you.
To register, yes. So that's why I'm going to do it for you in the US.
So Majell is in the process of doing my amazing trademarks in the US, so then I can go to Nevada.
Yeah, there you go, and have your billboards.
You need to come to my pop-up event
and
in Nevada.
I haven't even been to the US for 7 years, but I will come if you do that.
This would be an amazing reason. So I think we're pretty clear on here for people to understand trademarking. I hope that you never have a Dan come after you. It was scary. It was nasty. That Sunday night was when I really did cry, and that was when I really felt scared. To think about that, the one thing you love the most, at least for me, my business, that could just be gone, it was really scary.
It is scary.
And I remember crying. I have videos. Maybe we can plug them in on this edit, but I remember that I have videos where I'm crying a lot. And I think there was a part of this thing that it was very triggering for me because of my dad. My dad bullied me. My dad hurt me a lot. And this would be a whole other podcast episode about my father trauma and all of that. And now suddenly here is a man that I've never met come after me and take something that's my joy and my livelihood. And it's such a big part of my identity, which now I'm starting to learn, and I'm starting to try and make it that it doesn't become such a big part of my identity. And you know what? That was one of the biggest teachings I got from this, is that it is great if you have a business that is a big part of your identity, but it cannot be your whole thing, because what if it does go away for some reason? Then what?
I actually went through that too. Actually.
Did you?
So when I left real estate and went into startups,
Yeah.
I had that huge thing too, because that was my identity for the first few years here in Dubai, was that I was known as the real estate person. So, and then suddenly that was taken away from me, and well, not really taken away. I kind of did it on my own. But the thing is that it was really hard for me it took me a few months to figure out how to get around that. Okay, that's not my identity. I have other things, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I even feel like that about being a lawyer, because I've been wanting to get out of practicing law for so many years. And, you know, sometimes I'm like, but how? I've been doing it over 20 years.
Because you feel it's so
and
much...
everybody knows me as the lawyer. Like, how would I do it? And yeah, you have to learn to divorce yourself from having your career as your identity or your business as your identity. So yes.
This taught me, or it kind of planted the seed that I had never thought of, because there were moments that it was so triggering for me. Now there's another man figure that's coming after something that's mine, and it's bullying me. And I remember this felt triggering. It felt triggering because you said to me, Alex, you can keep the Marketing Rebel Club and he might just keep fighting even harder and this might continue. Or you just freaking remove the word marketing and you are 100% safe and good. And I'm like, do I really think my success is going to endure in a one word?
Exactly.
Like, no, I'm having success, and it's not going to be one word that's going to take away the value of my Rebel Club. So I remember saying to you, like, I'll just take the word marketing out and it will be Rebel Club. But I remember when I was going through the posts and editing and taking the word marketing, I remember crying because it just felt so triggering that a man out of nowhere, I don't know him. I've never been to Nevada. I hadn't been to the US in a couple of years. Suddenly just can come after you. And this is just the sad reality of life, is that there are horrible people out there and not everybody really wants to see you succeed. And this is when I really learned for the first time how you really need good lawyers in your life. I had never felt that before. I had only had people backstab me, but it didn't involve laws and it didn't cost me all this money. And this is when it was like, my God, you definitely need lawyers in your life, because they are the ones that can be there for you when these situations happen. But it was so triggering. I never want anybody to go through anything like this. So should people be trademarking? Is it a personal choice? Like, at what stage? I mean, this happened last year. So House of Social was 9 years last year. I never thought about trademarking ever. I thought those were like for the big people, the famous people, the big brands. What would you say? Because I think people watching right now are thinking, shit, I never thought about trademarking. Okay, this can happen to anybody, because it can happen to anybody. There's crazy people out there, right?
And that wouldn't have, even if you had been trademarked here, when this happened, that wouldn't have prevented what happened in the US, because again,
we're going into that gray area of the platforms, right?
But at least if you had something to show the platforms that, well, in my country, I'm registered. Yes. Okay, I just will stop sending, for example, to the US, sending these email newsletters to the US, whatever it might have been to get them basically to back down. But you should. I mean, do you have to do it right away when you're starting? Obviously, here it's a huge expense, as we said. So maybe not in the first year, but you should really think about it. But if you have this amazing brand name and something really unique. And you think, you know what, maybe I should protect it from the beginning, then budget for it.
Wow,
budget
amazing.
For it and just get it done.
Oh, I don't want anyone to go through this. And lastly on this topic, is it then a gray area, this whole social media platform thing? Because, okay, let's say I have all these trademarks now. I'm trademarking the UAE, trademarking Portugal, and I'm getting my trademark in the US. So is there still this weird gray area where someone can still say, like, or let's just imagine, let's imagine the scenario of, actually, this is a scenario. There's lots of people in the UAE and they are posting on LinkedIn. So what happens if there's another Dan out there that says, I saw your post on LinkedIn. also maybe subscribes to their emailer. So is this a gray area?
It really, again, because the U.S. is so litigious and they love a good lawsuit, and these companies are going to be more scared of a U.S. registered trademark than somebody overseas, you know? And if your mailers are going out to the people in that country that they're claiming the infringement's happening in, then it's likely that either you're going to have to just stop emailing into that country or figure something else out, because it's just it is a gray area. I can't really give like 100% clear advice on it.
It's like but you were, that's what I love about you, because you had such a rebel spirit throughout this whole thing. You were just like, fuck this guy, Alex, whatever, let's not even reply to him, don't reply, we got this. I felt so safe with you because you were so outspoken, you were such a savage, and that's what I love about your spirit, which is one of the reasons why I love you on Instagram, because completely now changing the conversation. So I hope this helped everybody. I hope so too. And I guess they can reach out to us and you if they have more questions around this, but definitely think about doing it and just to be protected.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
But now completely changing subjects, which is one of the reasons I also freaking love your rebel spirit, is because you are so savage on Instagram. Like, you really give no shits.
I actually, I'm not as savage as I would like to be.
Okay, why?
I think I was more savage when I was living in the U.S. because you can be.
Well,
there are no defamation laws that are going to end you up in prison and with huge penalties kind of thing.
Yes.
So yes, I was a bit more savage back then. And I feel like I was wittier back then. When I look at my old Facebook posts, like in the memories, I'm like, oh, I was so much more witty.
You can be witty here, but I know what you mean, because you probably want to be witty, but like drop in some truth bombs in there, right? But what I love about your spirit on Instagram is that you keep being shadow banned, or maybe you were just always shadow banned at this point.
No, I mean, so when the Palestine genocide started and I started posting about it, I definitely noticed a huge drop in my numbers.
That's so crazy.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't give a shit.
You said something to me. You said, I love this in our conversation. You said, why should I box myself for your own comfort? And I circled this so much when we last had a chat.
Yeah, because a couple weeks ago, somebody actually sent me something saying, if your Instagram and your social media is suffering so much and you're not getting a lot of views and engagement now because of this, then maybe you should just stop posting about it and just concentrate on the real estate and the professional stuff. And I posted, I said, no, I'm not here for your viewing pleasure. Like, this is important to me. I'm a whole human being. I have passions and concerns and other things. I'm going to post about what I want to post about. I don't care. And if only 50 people view it, then well, screw it. That's what it is. But yes, like I definitely don't. I'm not gonna do that.
I love that, because that's bold. That's taking a stand. And I know that this topic can be so divisive and controversial. And I always say there's no right or wrong. Like you have to do what feels 100% true to you. And you don't give a fuck if you're going to make someone uncomfortable because you're posting about your politics or, whatever your views are. That is such a strong thing for you that is up here to making people feel comfortable or protecting your brand, let's say. Because I know there's so much device conversations around this on what should be right. There's not a one right way, You have a brand, you already know if you're gonna go down politics and isn't that what they tell you? Isn't there, I don't know, but in Portugal we have this saying, you don't talk politics and religion.
Yeah,
this is like this thing, right? Like, don't talk politics and religion because it's going to be, So if you have a brand and you don't want to upset people or you don't want to devise people with your politic views or your religion views, okay, then don't.
But I don't even think, so the thing is, even politics and religion, that could be part of your brand.
But that was my next point.
And for me, and first of all, I am Palestinian, so that is my identity.
Exactly.
I'm not going to, say
hide
this is
it or buffer
and it's
it.
not political. I'm sorry. When people are getting killed,
yes,
it's not political.
It's humanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I will talk about it if I want to talk about it.
100%.
Shadow ban me, don't shadow ban me. I don't care. And there's no official shadow ban, by the way, because we were telling me, check if you have a red mark. And
because I was just so curious to know if you were
official. It's not official. I've never gotten any warnings from them or anything, because some people do, because they do post some things that somehow violate their policies.
Yes.
No, I've never gotten anything, but it's been obvious since day one.
It's so sad. That is one of the saddest things about, I think, the algorithms and platforms like Instagram, how you so vividly see how the content is spiked up or it's brought down because of certain religion, politic, or human, like humanity, like genocides and things like that. Like, it's so sad. If I post a video of me crying, it goes up. Like, crazy. I remember when I was posting my videos about my bullies and, and I was crying, and I remember my views, it was like 5 times more. Yeah. And I remember vividly looking at my Instagram, I'm like, this is not okay. Like, they're spiking this up because this is that visceral, triggering type of content. This cannot be healthy. And then with, other content like your content about Palestine or politics, or even like people that have like, they talk about religion, like how that is like ranked so down, like how they've got this manipulation going on. Or if you post a lot of sexy content, right? I know that if I post a sexy picture on my Instagram stories, I'm going to get more views. This is crazy.
Yes. And the sad thing is that it does affect my real estate content.
Of course.
And when I make, and especially when it's my own, then the numbers are way down. So I think yesterday I got 50 something views on my stories. And I was just basically because there were some things on social media that were about real estate.
Okay.
And so I was just giving a refresher about the laws and regulations and things like that. And I had some videos from previous podcasts. And I got 55 views.
That's so crazy.
Like, that's the lowest it's ever been.
That's
it's crazy. So yeah, but again, don't care.
It's and I get that people can be really confused. You just have to decide what matters the most. If you want to, and to what we were just saying earlier, right? Like you said, but you don't have to. You can have your brand and you can talk about your points of views, and you can go down the politics routes, and you could go down whatever, things that are happening in the world, as long as you then know that might alienate or divide people. But if you are okay with that, because going back to what you said, I'm not here, I just really freaking love this. Why should I box myself for your own comfort, right? Yes. If you have a brand and you don't want to make people comfortable, then put that and mix that in. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, if you don't want that, then don't mix that with your brand and leave your brand as your brand. And then on your other personal page, you put your politics. And I always say that to people, like, this is the beauty of social media. You can create as many accounts as you want. You want to create an account just for your politics or religion or points of views, and do that. And if you don't want that, because I remember at the time, obviously when everything started to happen with the conflict, I remember having so many people DMing me and my clients and telling me, what do I do? And I was like, you need to decide. I'm not here to tell you what's right. I can only show you the paths. At the end of the day, I think it's such a personal choice. Exactly. If you mix it with your brand, just know you might divide people, because again, this is a hot topic that people will have a division on. Also, a lot of people might just feel very uncomfortable. If you're selling baby clothes and now we are seeing horrible, tragic pictures, a lot of your audience might feel uncomfortable. Are you okay with that, or are you don't give a fuck?
And there are a lot of people who actually said they don't care, and they actually built a whole new following, right?
Exactly.
So you find your people that way too.
100%. Going back to your vibe will attract your tribe. You have to stay so true to what feels right to you. There's no right, this whole thing of like, what is the right way? Like, there's not always the right way. The right way is what really feels true to you. Like, I very rarely post politics and stuff like that, because that's just me. It's very rare for you to even find me talking about politics. It's just, I don't really go down much that route. It's just, I go down other routes. Like how I'm obsessed with my ChatGPT now, which I think you had a little bit of an influence, by the way. Oh my God.
I told you to train it, right?
I literally, what's that saying? You could bite your tongue. That's the saying, right? So I remember a few weeks on our Rebel Club WhatsApp, you said, Alex, train it. Tell it. You said, I tell my ChatGPT everything so it knows me, right?
Yeah, I've trained it. So I do it professionally. I do it with the other kind of things, marketing. So even with the contracts, for example, so I've trained it on my contract templates so that it learns my style because I hate legalese. I do not use legalese. I like to use plain English. So
what's legalese?
Just using all these legal words and jargon and all the stuff that lawyers think makes them sound smart and worth their fees. I don't know what it is, but I like to make it simple so that anybody that's graduated high school can read a contract and understand it. You know, that's how it should be. So I've trained on my templates. So if I need to create something brand new,
that's so cute.
Then I will put it in and I say, you know, based on my style, and it knows what to.
So
now,
good.
You still have to, with the legal stuff especially, you do still have to go over it, review it, make sure, add more things because a lot of things still are missing. Even when you're Googling legal things. So I'm also training it to learn the Dubai real estate laws because when I teach my courses, I put all of my materials into it and I'm trying to retrain it because sometimes it has the wrong information because remember, it's coming from people's input, right? All its information, it's machine learning. So it's learning what's on the internet. The problem is what's on the internet is sometimes wrong.
Yes.
So I'm trying to retrain it and I correct it. I'll tell it when it's wrong.
Ooh.
So I do that a lot. And then I use it also for marketing ideas. Yeah. It's really good for that kind of thing.
Am I getting fired? On that note about your legalese, do you want to explain to people what are the legal things they should be looking for as small businesses? I remember you were telling me all of these red flags that we should be looking out for. Do you want to?
Yeah, so in contracts. So first of all, I want to say, I know again that new companies, startups don't necessarily have a budget to go to a lawyer.
Yes.
But I highly, highly suggest that your everyday contracts that you're using with your clients or customers, you should go the first time to the lawyer and get it done properly.
Really?
So whether they're online, so if you have these online click-through terms and conditions, accept here, or whether it's a paper contract that you're going to have them sign, go to a lawyer, get it done properly the first time. Because this is what you're using. It's a foundation of your business, right? You're using it every day. So you need to get it right because not getting it right could end you up in court and you don't want to be there. You don't want to, that's going to cost you way more than going to the lawyer, paying a few thousand for a template that's done properly.
Yeah.
And
we cannot get those off the internet.
Well, see, I wouldn't know. That's why I always say no cookie cutter. And I wouldn't even use ChatGPT for that because again, it will be missing. So I recently, so there are a couple startups that I kind of still advise. Is
this really good for startups, especially, or at any point?
At any point, actually.
And these contracts can be for anything.
Yes. So especially for your own services, right? Okay. So for your client and customer templates, I would say go to a lawyer and get it done properly. Because on ChatGPT, so one of these startups that I advised, they came to me with a contract this week. And I could tell it was done through ChatGPT because it's in the same kind of format.
A bit like me, you can smell ChatGPT from a mile away. Yes. I can smell marketing done on ChatGPT. Like, it hasn't even crossed the road yet, and I can already like smell it. You can too, right? All the legal stuff, I'm so sure.
So then it was missing all sorts of stuff. It was missing the liability language. It was missing termination language. It was missing all very key things.
Yeah.
So I would still not use ChatGPT. And I know a lot of small businesses come and they say, oh my God, I fed this contract with the vendor through ChatGPT and it told me all the things that were wrong. And okay, that's a good start. but definitely not for your own template.
Okay.
Definitely not. Just go to the lawyer the first time and get it done right. And try to avoid getting into lawsuits.
Yeah.
So that's what I would suggest. But if let's say you have vendors, suppliers, whatever it is, they're sending you their contract. So what are you looking for? You can't.
Yes.
You're not going to have.
What should people be looking for? What are the red flags here?
Yeah, because you're not going to have a budget probably to even hire an in-house lawyer, let alone going to an external law firm.
Because you guys have this
everything.
like fame that you guys are all so expensive. So I
could
think that's
be-
always
can
like
be
top
true.
of mind.
Can be true. Yes, there's a reason for that stereotype.
Yes. So what should they be
So-
looking for? Is there like red flags that should like pop out?
Yeah, so definitely. So if it's a automatically renewing contract.
Oh.
So what happens if you don't like their service, or maybe you can't afford it anymore, whatever reason it is, you want to get out of it, and it's automatically renewed and you forgot about
I've
it.
had a few clients be in those contracts and they were like, it was bad for them.
Yes. So you want to have an early termination clause in there.
Okay.
Make sure that there's some room for you to get out if for whatever reason you need to get out of that contract. Usually it comes with a 30 to 90 day notice period. So
Okay.
you will be stuck for that period of time, but at least it's better than being stuck for the entire year. So again, look for automatic renewals and early terminations. Those are some of the biggest things.
Yeah.
Now there's liability language, like if you see indemnity and those kind of things, that's super legal. It's very difficult for me to even get into it. But if these are smaller kind of supplier contracts, vendor
Okay.
contracts, obviously I'm not expecting you to go to a lawyer for every single thing.
Yeah.
So those are the main things. The payment terms, right?
yeah,
Make
yeah,
sure
yeah,
that
yeah,
you are
yeah.
comfortable with the payment terms. How often do you have to pay? What's the amount? Can you afford that?
Yeah.
Because if from the beginning, you know, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to have that much money when it's time to pay next
Yeah.
month. You're in
Yeah,
trouble from the
yeah,
beginning. You might not want to
yes.
get into that contract
Yeah.
or renegotiate it.
Yeah.
So just be very aware of those types of things.
I feel like nobody reads anymore.
They do not.
I don't know what's
At all.
going on. No matter how many bold copy I put on my site, it's like, what's going on with people lately?
We've gotten lazy with social media. We love these 5-second TikTok views.
Teach
like, right?
me how to be an entrepreneur
Yeah.
in 5 minutes.
Yeah. We've just, our attention span literally has gone down. So, and you can tell when people, so you will see these articles and they'll have a headline. And then people will just start commenting about something. And then you're like, did you read the article? Because that's already addressed, but they don't. They just look at the headline. They don't want to read. And
It's so frustrating.
I used to write articles, and I used to write for Gulf News Property Weekly. And I thought about it when I got back into real estate a couple of years ago, like, should I do that? And I thought, you know what? They don't even care. Like, even having a written kind of, let's say, carousel.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't get as much attention as a video.
No.
People have lost their...
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, their attention
Maybe
span
it's
is
time
gone.
for a Rebel hotline. You've just inspired me. Okay, I'm gonna give you my Rebel hotline phone.
Oh, no.
Okay, if you had to call anybody.
Dan.
Oh, did I just say that? Okay, if you had to call anybody, who would you call?
After Danny.
Could be a loved one you haven't spoken to in a long time. Could be someone famous. Or if you had to vent, if you had to call somebody, who would you call?
I don't know. I don't like
be
talking on the
anybody.
phone. I like leaving long voice notes. I've been
You
told
don't
I
do
make
phone calls?
I've been told I make podcasts on voice notes.
Me too.
Some of my friends hate it. They're like, it's not a podcast.
Have you trained your brain to hear the voice notes on the 2.0 speed?
Yes.
Yes, me too.
At least 1.5. I cannot even watching podcasts now. If it's less than 1.5, I can't do it. It's fairly bad. And sometimes, there are these videos that you can't actually speed up and
Yeah.
it's too slow.
Yeah. Oh my God, I went to the cinema. I remember going to the movies with my mom in Lisbon, and I had the weirdest reaction. We were in the cinema, which I hadn't been to the cinema in so long, and then I just suddenly had this urge of wanting to fast forward because we watch everything
You could stop and fast forward.
You're in the movies. You gotta sit through
Stuck. I know. It is. I'm telling you, man. This technology.
So you don't do phone calls. You do voice notes.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of people hate voice notes.
I know.
I don't know why. But what about the video notes? Have you seen on WhatsApp you can do video notes?
Yes, I
The little
discovered it by
circle.
accident one day. I just clicked on.
Maybe Alex sent you a video note.
This video. No, I was trying to do a voice note, I think, and then I was like, why is my picture there? What's happening?
That was so funny. So who would you call? Okay, so who would you send the voice note?
I don't know.
Who would you vent to?
Who would I vent
You were
to?
feeling pretty angry last week. People were like pissing you
vent to
off last week on your
everybody.
Instagram.
Yeah. Everybody likes. I have to stop complaining. I've been told a million times.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't really vent to a lot of people anymore.
I think this is why I'm calling this my vent rebel phone. Yeah. If you had to vent now for a minute, what would you vent about? How people have just like
people have a sense of entitlement. I can't stand it anymore. They feel entitled.
Do you think do you think Dubai makes it worse?
Yes. Dubai doesn't help. Dubai actually is like it's like the worst things in the world that like come together in one place. I mean, no, look, okay, it's great. From like,
I love your eyes are going so big.
Don't deport me.
You know I don't have money to bail you out, right? But I will do a whole rally campaign for you. I'll print posters out. You will be the poster child for freedom. What am I saying? Dubai has freedom.
Okay. So no, it's great as far as like, it's very clean. It's very safe. Like all the stuff that we know.
Yes.
The lifestyle is amazing. You're not going to find it anywhere else. You really don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just feel like, because it does bring in a lot of people that are here just to make the money and that's it. Get in, get out.
I call it Dubai-fied.
They
get Dubai-fied.
Exactly. And sometimes they get worse. Sometimes they're bad to begin with when they come. But sometimes they just come here and they become
because
bad.
You know, there's that saying, and me and you have been here long. I've been here 17 years, you're 11, right? And I think, you know, Dubai does attract a lot of people that are coming from, you know, a broken background, or they weren't really succeeding well where they were. They were lost. And this becomes that haven where, when I go there. So we do really, in 17 years here, I can really attest to this, and you probably the same. We do get a lot of, I mean, the other day someone said something which I think is a bit bad. They were like rejects. I mean, that's a bit of a mean thing to say, you know, but we do get a lot of these people that are coming here in hopes of a new beginning because
Which is fine. We all came here for new beginnings. That's fine. No issue.
We're all here for new beginnings.
Honestly, it's true. And yes, you can make something of yourself more than you can in other places because it's a small market. It's a new market. Yes. It's true. We can all attest to that. That's great. But the thing is that because it is still a very transient place where people are in and out, they're coming to make their money. Maybe, yes, they're staying longer than they used to.
Yeah.
But the end goal for most people is to go back to their home countries or somewhere else and retire there. So they're trying to make as much money as possible. Yeah. And just some of them become so greedy. Yeah. Some of them are so entitled. Like they think they could pick your brains.
That became Dubai-fied? Because I've had people that have gotten Dubai-fied. And it's crazy because it always happens in those first 2 years that they arrive here. You know them from before and you see how they get here, and then you are like, oh, they've gone rogue.
Yes.
They've gone Dubai-fied. They get so caught up by the shiny glimmer, I think what we're trying to say is there's so much goodness with Dubai. There's so much opportunity. I mean, I'm so thankful. I've built my whole business here, right? But because there's so much shininess and everything has been created, so there is a bit of a lack of more of the authenticity type of life that we have in our home countries. So when you land here, what do you have? You have all of these fancy restaurants, fancy bars. Exactly. I mean, God forbid you go to a bar completely dressed down, you know, like whatever you should, and I go sometimes. But you get so caught up by this fancy glimmer, shiny, you know, everybody wants to be somebody here.
Exactly.
I hate it how when I'm out, it's always, what do you do? What is your name? Where are you from? Boom. Yeah. So that they can catalog you and rank you into...
Like, how useful are you to me?
Absolutely.
What can you do for me to get me...
So, you know, can I confess, like, my friends will know this. I don't go out that much, but when I do, so this is my favorite thing to do when I go out at night. I absolutely love to create personas. So I never say who I am. I always so one of my last things I said was that I can't remember the name that I was. So I think I'm just going to go with Sally. But I was Sally recently. And I was a receptionist at the Saudi German hospital.
Wow.
And I just love coming up with the most fucking random shit. Like... And there's nothing wrong with these. By the way, don't even get me wrong or come after me. Like, there's nothing wrong with these jobs. But in this Dubai, like when you are out, when people want to know what you do, it's all about this status. And I'm just like, I'm just a receptionist, or, you know, like, and it's just like, you just see their faces like, and I just like, I feel sad. you know,
Yeah.
it makes me sad.
Oh, it is sad. It is really sad. But
you came over from America.
I did.
What would you say to America?
And I came over knowing I'm not going back to America.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you wanna share a little bit why?
I don't like America. I was born and raised there. I do not like America. I've always
Wait, let me
hated
remember. Where? Chicago?
Chicago.
'Cause
I love Chicago as a city.
I really want to go.
It's
this is
really
a jazz city.
Yeah, it's amazing. Don't go in the winter, but it's
okay.
amazing. but yeah, it's just America in general. I just never liked it. I never liked the lifestyle. It was always run. And then what happened was when I came here,
Yeah.
I got lulled into like this false sense of reality because I was working at the government.
Yes.
So our hours were our hours. We didn't have even laptops back then. It was a PC.
Yeah,
so we didn't go do work at home. It was what it was. And we got off early. And so I thought, oh, this is amazing. You still have time for family and friends like other countries, right?
Yeah.
And then I went to the private sector.
Then you're
and
like,
it's worse than America.
Yeah.
It's worse than America.
Really?
I feel like it's even like you're
Really?
24/7 here.
But what made you move from the US to here, actually? That's.
I mean, I don't think I know. I always wanted to get out of the U.S. anyway, and I'm surprised.
So you were like, get me out already from the get-go.
I'm surprised it took me 37 years to get here.
Really?
Honestly. Yeah. So it took me a long time to get out of the U.S., but I always wanted to live elsewhere. I thought I'd come here maybe 2-3 years like everybody else and then go somewhere else for good. But so my sister was already here, my youngest sister. And so, yeah.
Is she still here?
She is still here.
Ah,
and my
okay.
brother's here now too. So three of the 5 of us are here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what would you say to Americans coming to Dubai?
Oh, God. I was going to say don't, but to be honest, get out of America. It's like, it's getting worse. It's worse and worse.
When I'm in Lisbon now, it's full of them. Portugal is full of them. They're all moving to Portugal.
Everybody's moving. I've seen that more and more Americans are starting to get passports if they don't already have one.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for other places to go. I mean, I don't blame them, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just getting worse.
I like
on all
America,
levels.
but I definitely wouldn't move. I would like to continue going and staying longer stints of time. I do. Americans give me a lot of love when I interact with Americans and either my American clients or my American followers. They always give me I feel like they embrace my crazy. And I get a lot of I feel a lot of love from them in that way. So I always feel a bit more free when I'm in that with those Americans and in that space. I feel like they just embrace me more. And I do love the whole hustling spirit that they have.
No, Americans are definitely more friendly. And I've been told that a million times. So, for example, when we used to go to Seattle for Amazon and my other colleagues that were non-Americans would come and they're like, you Americans are so friendly. You talk to everybody. So we're friendly.
Yeah.
We have good work ethic. I think that's where I get it from too, is that we do take pride in our work. And, when we are given a job, we get it done. So that is a good thing. I'm not saying everything is negative.
Yeah.
I just
Do
don't
you
like
think the perception of Middle East, but maybe this is a huge broad thing, but because every time I interact with an American, and just a couple of weeks ago, I had a work call with an American, it was I'm always getting asked this question, oh, but how, and I can just see it, and I already know what they're gonna ask. Yes. And I can just see it in their faces, and I'm like, come on, go for it.
Yeah.
I know you're dying to ask me that question. And it always as well starts with, I'm sorry if this is intrusive, but I just really have to ask how you as a woman, and then big emphasis on women, right? As a woman and as a female, how have you been being able to make it, or
especially with the teal
and then
hair.
It's and you've got blue hair and you've got your own business, and I'm just wow,
Are we still there?
Are we? Yeah, we're still here. I mean, I do remember going to a social media marketing conference in San Diego, I want to say maybe 8 years ago. Oh my God. Lunchtime, round table. I sit there. Everybody looking at me, and it was that question. But how? You're female and blue hair there. Do you think, and I guess, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think, because now Dubai is trending so much more, Dubai is now starting to be so much more on the map with, I think, the US as well. But do you think Americans are getting a little bit more educated about And I guess this is a bit of a loaded big question because Dubai is Dubai, Middle East as Middle East is like saying Portugal and Europe. I mean, come on, there's different countries, right? But do you think, I don't know, what are your thoughts on this? Like,
I mean, that's part of the thing that I don't like about America is that there's such ignorance. And still till this day, there's a lot of ignorance, especially about the Middle East, about Arabs, about Muslims. And so they're just, that is one of the things that they still need to work on, you know? So
I guess that's just the thing with anybody now. Like I feel like people are not self-educating themselves anymore. I feel so strongly about this topic. It's like people have stopped wanting to be curious.
Yes.
They'll listen to one podcast and that becomes the truth. Or they'll read an article and then that's like the truth. It's like people have stopped wanting to be curious, to ask more questions, to really think, you know, are all the news that you're getting, is that really real?
Yeah.
You know, like,
and people buy so much into like these conspiracy theories. And yes, I agree.
I'm one of them.
No, I agree.
I love conspiracy theories.
I agree that there are certain things are in the world that are very well.
Do you believe
hidden.
in aliens?
Okay.
Do you believe in aliens? Tell me you believe in aliens. You don't?
Maybe a little bit. But my husband watches this stuff all the time. And I come home and I'm like, why are you watching these alien shows? Maybe. There could be life on other planets. I don't know if it's that important to me. That's the thing. Like, even if it is, even if there are, like,
really? You don't care for aliens? I really want to go on a date with an alien. Like, I legit want to sit and have dinner with an alien. I'm not, just dinner, and I don't want to have sex with an alien. Okay, that just sounds too weird now. The date will stop and start at dinner. But I freaking love them.
Really?
And I manifest meeting one so much.
Really?
Sound like a legit crazy, but this is so true. Yeah.
No, I just don't.
And I watch all the documentaries, especially Joe Rogan. He does a lot of like alien stuff. I go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's why I was shocked when I came home one day and the first time my husband was
watching. You saw an alien?
Like, no, my husband. Oh yeah. Then maybe I'd be more convinced. No, but I was just, are you into this? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I was like, oh. And then when we went to the pyramids last month in Egypt, and he was like, do you know? And I was like, oh God, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really believe the American government has aliens. They've got evidence.
It's possible.
There.
It's actually possible.
Really
I don't
they
doubt
are
that.
hiding in the oceans. I don't know has your husband told you about that one?
I don't know about that one.
I really love aliens. I love the whole thing about it. And I really hope that at some point the American government maybe releases more things, but they have been releasing a ton of stuff already.
Yeah.
But I just would love for us to like.
But I feel like people, so you saw Joe Rogan, for example, and there are some people who will, you know, they attach themselves to let's say the podcaster, this and that, and then they just believe everything that person says.
Yeah.
They are not using their brains anymore, like you said.
Yes.
They're not curious to see outside points of view.
Yes.
Those kind of things. Like, that's where
Get
we are.
curious, ask questions,
Exactly.
like form your own opinions, do your own research, like stop just being headline readers. Like, I think people are just not wanting to self-educate anymore. Everything is like 5 seconds videos on TikToks. And, which is
That's
great. It serves a purpose. But, you know, I think we have to work more on that.
Exactly.
Ooh, I loved having you. Okay.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up, I have something for you.
Okay.
So, wait. Remember this, yeah?
Okay.
You gave me this with, do you remember?
It's a candle, I believe, a protection candle or something like that.
Yeah. Wait. So this bag belonged to my Nana, and it goes all the way to the 1970s in Angola, in Africa. She used to, so this bag is like really special. She used to carry it around. It was one of the few things that they managed to save from the war. So it's been here with us this whole time. So I've got something for you.
Oh.
Wait. Can I grab it? Okay, because you gave me a candle for protection. And now this is, I got you one too.
So cute. Majdel, your rebel spirit lights the way. Light me up when you need to roar. Oh. that's so cute. That's so sweet.
Because I know you always have like so many, you're so passionate. You have a true rebel spirit because you are so passionate. You have so many opinions. You have this bold spirit. And I think people these days are struggling to be bold about things. You know, fuck this gray area. Be bold about your opinions. Be bold about the things that you want. So this is Diary of a Rebel. So the people that I want to have these great conversations are people that have so much of that spirit. And you do. And I know that maybe here sometimes you're not as bold and as crazy. Like me, I understand. Sometimes you want to say more.
Yeah.
But I think places like this need people like us.
Yes.
Because I think maybe in small ways we can help keep moving things more forward.
Exactly.
And be more open. Because just because we might criticize something doesn't mean we hate it. Both can, things can coexist.
Yeah, you can actually give criticism because you love something and you want it to improve, right?
Yeah.
And this is what I always say about Dubai. Like, I love it and I want it to improve, and I know it can.
Exactly.
I know people can act in better
'cause
ways.
we're still here. So we're still here. We haven't like packed our bags and gone.
Exactly.
Okay, I have a set of, so we're going to end with a set of these really fun questions. You want to put the phone down? Put it there anywhere you want. So I have these set of questions that are so fun that we can do as we are going to wrap up. And so I'm going to ask you some and then you can ask me some.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay. What's one of your biggest, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway moment, and maybe nobody even knows about it?
Actually, moving here. So
Really?
I decided one day, I literally woke up and I was like, I'm going to go to Dubai. I'm closing up. And I had my law firm in Chicago.
Just like that?
Yeah. And so within 2 weeks.
You were single?
And yeah, I was single. So I had been married. I was divorced for a couple of years at that point. So I actually had lunch with my mother and father that day. And I was like, listen, I think I'm going to move to Dubai. And I had messaged my sister and she's like, yeah, you can stay with like us for the first couple months until you figure out what you're doing. So yeah, no job. Came to Dubai and figured it out.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What's something you've learned by not following the rules that has completely changed your path?
Just being open. Like, I used to have a lot of rules, especially about like
Being a lawyer, you're like a lawyer.
yeah. So
You're like a rebel lawyer.
That doesn't.
Oh my God,
That
that should
doesn't
be
really help, to be honest. Like, oh yeah, rebel lawyer. That's my brand.
Just Alex fired you, sorry. No, you are your own identity.
So yeah, like so for example, for finding a husband, basically. So I was like, okay, I had a lot of rules, like he has to be from here and this and that and whatever. And then when I opened myself up more, then thank God I found an amazing man.
Oh, that is so
yeah, like
cute.
those don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
Get out of this box,
Yes,
This is the thing.
yes,
I don't like
yes.
these boxes that we get into.
No, I hate them.
Yeah.
Nothing exciting happens inside the box.
No, ever.
I always say magic happens just as you're about to turn around the corner.
Exactly.
I love the corners because you can't really see fully yet what's there.
I actually really love it. So when I was coming here, when
Yeah.
I made that decision in that 2 weeks that I had to pack up and start shutting down my office operations and all of that. And I remember there was some kind of quote about like, not knowing scares a lot of people. But for me, I actually get excited about it.
Me the same.
I like it. I like the sense
same
of
in that
adventure.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what's going to happen?
I get turned on by the not knowing. That's what really excites me. And I'll
Yeah.
just leap and then I'll figure out when I'm there, which obviously can get us into a lot of trouble sometimes.
Yes.
But I'd rather have those troubles and problems than still being on this side
Exactly.
of the bridge and looking at what could be.
Exactly.
Like, fuck that. What could be? What if? Nothing exciting happens in that place.
Exactly.
Ifs, what, could, should I, should have, could have. Like what the fuck's that? That's nothing, right? Oh, I love that. Okay, next one. What's the one thing you're dying to do, but you're still too scared to admit to the world? Well, I guess you're going to admit it now. Is it a big question?
No, I just want to, I want to move somewhere else. I want to go to like Turkey or somewhere with like beautiful weather and
Tuscany,
I
Lisbon.
I love Tuscany. I love
Barcelona.
Tuscany. Yeah, like somewhere, maybe not Barcelona. They have
Okay,
a lot of crime
Barcelona's
now.
going to be crazy now. Yeah.
But
Seville.
I just want to like a green place, walkable, mountains.
I so see you there with a little like
See,
bakery
like-
or shop or bookshop.
Oh my God, a bookshop with a coffee shop with books, a
You
bookstore.
need to come
Like
to
that.
Lisbon
That's
because
what I
you will
want.
see how there's so many of those concepts in Lisbon, because Lisbon is full of these old houses. Like, you know that video I just showed you, like shout outs to the Orient Express. Orient Express, is that the name? That bar that I sent you a video. They just did that concept in this little tiny corridor little place that they
It's
just
cute.
rented.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
Because
super
everything
cute.
has so much character.
That always was my thing. Either that or having like a B&B in a Mediterranean country somewhere. There's like,
can't.
oh, it'd be so
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the manifest. Okay, I love that. Okay, you're gonna love this one. If you could erase one rule in your industry or world, if you want, which one would it be and why? And you're a lawyer. You love, in a way, you love
yes.
rules.
In
a way.
I do.
When they're good to us.
Oh my God, where do I start? There are too many.
Just one. If there was one you could erase in your industry or like if you want in the world.
I hate this whole concept of like passports and borders.
Oh, okay.
And ever since marrying, so my husband's Pakistani,
Mm-hmm.
and since marrying him, like I always grew up knowing that it's not fair, and seeing like my cousins and other people having to get visas to come to America just to
Yeah.
visit and all that and the process. But now I really feel it, because whenever we need to travel somewhere, we got to go get him the visa, and then
Yeah.
we put my American passport with his application just to like be like, oh, because they'll think
Yeah.
like, oh, he's going to be an American one day, even though he won't. But
Yeah.
so he doesn't need our country to stay
Yeah.
in and
Yeah.
give him the visa, right?
Yeah.
But that's so unfair.
Yeah,
Why
it's
do we have
super
all of
crazy.
this?
Yeah.
I hate it. I really
Because
hate
it
it.
really logistically, practically, even emotionally impacts, for example, like you guys, you're a couple and you want to travel, that has a lot of implications,
Yeah,
right?
and it's just not fair. Like who decides
who
this?
decides, yeah.
Like why?
I
Just
love
because you're
that.
from one country, like that you can't go to another one, it's really not fair.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the next question.
Oh, no.
Because you might ask me some of these back. I was trying not to think of the answers, but I love this one. If your inner rebel could text you one message right now, what would it say?
Oh no.
Oh, your inner rebel.
I'm trying to
What are you
watch
thinking?
my
Are you
language.
thinking naughty thoughts?
No. I'm just trying to watch my language.
Alex, go have sex.
No, it's not. It's not.
Sorry, I just threw you off.
That's an Alex thing. Now we know Alex's answers.
No, mine would not say
No.
that. Mine, I
just-
think, would say, Alex, you need sleep and sun.
No, like, just screw it. Seriously, screw it. Like,
Right now,
do what
this
you
is
want
your
to do.
inner rebel voice,
Do what you want to do. Like, do what you want to do. Just forget safety.
Yes.
What was that? Remember that quote, the Rumi one that I wanted on my website when we were doing my personal brand website.
I'm so bad with remembering quotes. What is that?
Yeah, it was about like forget safety.
Right, let's Google it.
Yeah.
Rumi
oh
quotes.
my gosh, we got it. It's something about forgetting safety and being a crazy person from now on.
Rumi quotes.
I loved
Around
it.
safety?
Yeah.
Well, let me just put Rumi quotes. Let's see.
No, you're never gonna find it. There are too many.
Okay, wait. Then around safe. I don't know. Let's
Forget
see.
security or safety, something like that.
Let's see. Some human beings are safe havens.
No.
Some human beings are free havens. No. Okay, let me remove safe because I put the word safe. I feel like, but I think I remember. As you live deeper in the heart, the mirror gets clearer and cleaner. No. Do not grieve. No. There's so many. I'm not. No. The ocean. No. It's your road and yours alone. No. Raise your words, not voice. No, we'll never find it.
No. It'll be like in the email or something from
Try to be the rainbow in someone else's cloud. I didn't know that was a Rumi quote. That's so cute. Okay, so your inner voice would just be like, fuck it, just like do it.
Do what you want to do. Like it's how much. First of all, we don't ever know how much time we have. We think we have many
I
years
wish I
left,
had
and we
access to
don't.
that Excel sheet because I truly believe God has this huge, humongous Excel sheet with all of the dates and times in there.
This is what we believe. Actually,
I believe
a
in that.
sense,
I'm
too.
so crazy spiritual like that.
There's a date, an expiration
100%.
date for us.
And I don't believe we die, but then I don't know if we have different views on that. But I believe we just pass to the other side and we continue on. Like I so know my grandma is here with me right now. She even sent me a sign today. Do you want to see what she sent me
What did
today?
she send?
I actually had to put it here because it was on the way of the mug. But okay, wait. So when I opened that bag, I hadn't opened it in so long. And I had asked her today to send me a sign.
Okay.
And so if you are asking your loved ones to give you signs, especially obviously they will have passed. I've learned this recently. I forget her name, but I'm going to plug in on the details. And she teaches you how to develop your own psychic powers. And she teaches you how to communicate with people that have passed away. And she says the biggest mistake people make is like they ask for signs, but that's all they do. And she's like, you have to be specific at how you want the sign to come. So I've been very specific with my Nana, and I've been saying, and today I said, give me a sign. And as always, the sign has to be in my blue, teal, turquoise. And it has to be an object, and it has to be inside the house. And I have opened this bag before, and I had never seen this pencil. So when I opened this bag, when I was putting your candle inside it, this was just like right there. And it kind of freaked me out because I have these pencils. I must have bought them in Lisbon or here. So it kind of freaked me out that my Nana also has the same pencil because she did this. I didn't do this.
Oh,
I don't know how we got here,
though.
but yeah.
That's sweet.
But that was just like, I knew that it was her saying.
That would be your call, wouldn't it? Your Nana.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's so much of everything. Like all of this is my Nana. Because we didn't have money for me to go to kindergarten. So I would spend my little years in the theater with all of these opera singers. And they are gay, and they are queer, and they are flamboyant, which seriously, this was the best kindergarten I could have had, right? Because that's how I got so much of this. All of this comes from there. I grew up in this space. I grew up in the space of the backstage of the theater, and all of these crazy, flamboyant, gay humans would come through, and I would sit on their laps, and they would do my hair, and they would put, you know, that the gold spray can, that smell for me is like childhood, not crayons and like school. That's like my childhood smell. And they would do my hair really big, and they would I remember vividly one guy, which he's like a family friend to us. He would put me with what do you call the feathers, the boas. He would put me with these big jackets, and he would say to me, Shana is my name in Portuguese. He would go, Shana, walk from there and walk to there and strut your thing and say, fuck that bitch. And that was my stepmother at the time because she was the meanest, she is the meanest human I've probably met in this life. And he would go, strut and walk up and down and say that next time she's mean to you, this is what you're going to do. And this is the type of stuff they would tell me, you know what I mean? I watched my grandma, she would draw her eyebrows in blue, in turquoise. Oh. And it's just so crazy because look at the full circle now, right? It's like my mom says, I'm becoming my grandmother. Aww. And I am more, my mom does say this, she feels like I'm so much more like my grandmother's daughter and my father's daughter. Because a lot of what I've taken, so much I've taken from my mom, so much, because my mom saved me. But this would be a whole other podcast episode that I really want to do with my mom. But yes, grandma, she was an artist, Aww. She was an opera singer. And you know what, another thing? All of these boots creations and stuff that I've been doing, I so believe. So the last 2 years before my Nana passed away, she had dementia. So obviously she started to lose her memory, and that really affected our relationship and she also had, what's it called? The other one where you also lose memory? It's dementia.
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's, right. My grandmother had Alzheimer's, and it's really for anybody that has dealt with someone that has, bad. It's so sad because you really see the person going away. Mm. And I watched my grandmother go away and disappear. And I feel that now that she's passed to the other side, now I'm having a chance to have another newer relationship with my grandma when I am making all of these creations. Aww. Because I know this is like a love language that me and her have. Because that was her. We used to do these things. She used to create. My grandmother had this ability where even when we didn't have any money and money was very little, she would have this ability to make things just beautiful out of toilet paper. She would do bows with toilet papers and, stuff like that.
Amazing.
So yeah. I don't know how we got here.
Do you want me to ask a couple more questions?
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay. You don't have to ask them all, by the way. You can just ask them if you want.
What's the one thing you wish people would stop telling you about how you should build your brand or life?
Oh my God. I love that you're asking me this question because I just got this the other day and it was from a guy and I wanted to punch him. Sorry if you're watching this. It's the truth.
Wait. We've got...
Oh, yeah.
The pink.
Give me. Do you know what it is? Oh my God, Alex, like you're dyeing your hair so much, like your hair is gonna fall. My hair is not gonna fucking fall. Like people just have no knowledge. And this was a guy, we were I don't even know where we were, but this guy is like, but the tone that he had, it was like as if he was a connoisseur of hair. So he's like, but this is really bad. He was literally like this, but this is really bad for your hair, Alex.
Oh.
And I'm just like, because I'm trying to embrace this new spiritual self of just like calmness and no like heavy reactions. I just like look at him and I'm like, and I'm like flicking my mermaid extensions, right? And I'm just like, no. That's my biggest pet peeve is people saying that. Because they're being so uneducated. Yeah. This is just color pigment and it's actually vegan and it's actually a hair mask. So the color is actually doing amazing for you. Obviously you have to know what brands to use and I'm not gonna go into that right now. And I also only bleach the roots and I only do them like every 4 to 5 months. So, and that's me not going.
So your hair is not going anywhere.
No, and I've been doing this for 10 years now.
And if it does, you've got wigs. So.
Oh my God, and we got wigs. Yeah. So,
yeah.
I love how the boat just like flies. Yeah.
Okay, what else? So this is something you've already asked me, but what's something you've learned by not following the rules that completely change your path?
I feel like I can finally, in a safe way, say this actually, Majdel, and maybe you'll tell me if I should stop, but when I started House of Social 10 years ago, you could not do a class in real life if you didn't have the KHDA license.
Yeah.
And I did it, guys. I did 4. And it was really scary at the time because I did go to KHDA. I did have this lovely lady sitting in front of me telling me, you need to have the KHDA license that needs to be attached to a certain type of business license. At the time, there was no freelance licenses, by the way, guys. So when I started, there was none of this like amazing freelance licenses you have now. I was paying 25,000 dirhams for my license.
Yeah, that was expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Even the free zones back then. My first one was 30,000.
Yes.
Crazy.
Exactly. So she's like, oh yeah, that's great. But I didn't ask for me. I was like, so if somebody wanted to, and she's like, you need to have a KHD license. And then I remember asking her like, what happens if you don't? And she's like, well, you could get fined and and I was already selling tickets right there and then. And I remember vividly walking out. And I remember getting on the phone with my mom, telling her my mom this, and my mom going, so what are you going to do? And I'll never forget it because I was across the street there. And I remember being at that Starbucks that's right there. And I remember looking across the horizon and just following my instinct. And I say, I'm going to do it. Because I know how important these events are going to be for my brand. And they really are. There's people that are still doing business with me from those events. And there's people that have now decided to start their own thing. And it's to me that they're coming from events from 10 years ago.
Wow.
So I decided to do that. But I've never really been able to publicly actually talk about it like this because I feel like now it's safer because obviously that rule is not applicable anymore.
Rules have changed a lot. There were so many things, right? Everybody knew that if you had a free zone company, you're not supposed to technically work on shore. But everybody was doing it. It was kind of like the open secret. Yeah. So there were a lot of things.
I went over lots of red tape, and I'm not ashamed of it. And that speaks to my true rebel spirit. And I always say to people, and I was always okay. And this is the caveat, right? Because I said to my mom, if something happens, you are not going to see me crying. I will take the hit. So I was always ready to take the hit. So even I knew if something was to happen, I would have to put my hands up and be like, well, I knew this from the beginning. I knew that this could have been the price to pay. But I was willing and I was fine to pay that price. So that was best thing I've ever done was to break those rules.
Should we do one more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what are you going to pick?
What's the one thing you're dying to do, but still too scared to admit?
I love that you asked this question. I want to be a burlesque dancer. I want to still do what I do, But I would just love to so I have started my singing classes again. I would love to full on go singing, but like maybe not full on. I don't know. I would find my way of doing burlesque, so I wouldn't get totally nude, you know. I am in Dubai. But I mean, this is worldwide. I could go, you know, anywhere. I would just love to be, I don't know, a rebel burlesque dancer, you know, in some speakeasy, and that would be like my side hustle that I would get booked and people would like come and have a great time. And maybe I would teach Facebook ads in the middle of it. Like I would love to find a way to merge teaching Facebook ads and like some dancing and singing.
You're already dancing and singing during your...
I know, I feel like I'm almost there. Like I'm touching the sun. It's almost there. But yeah, that's definitely what I would love.
It's amazing. Very good.
Oh, yay!
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really loved.
Thank
you for coming to my Wonderland.
Your boudoir.
This is where fears come to die.
I love it.
And I should have another tagline. This is where fears come to die. And
yeah,
what?
There you go. And trademark it. Trademark the tagline.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And maybe this is where dreams come to life. Thank you so much for being my first guest. Thank you for being such an amazing friend. Thank you for being my guardian angel here. I hope that we helped a ton of people out there with all of the trademark stuff.
I hope so.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, and it was an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, do you have a special message? Is there anything you want to say to people out there about to do with your work? No? You're good?
I'm good.
Solid. Thank you so much, Majdel.
Thank you.
I love you.
Love you.
Yay.